would cry if he talked, so I'm speaking. Thanks everybody for coming. Coach don't come down very often, so I'm glad everybody took time out of their busy day, holiday weekend, for some of us, to come down here. Before we get to Coach, we have a little something. He's probably the smallest guy in the room right now. Come up here, Spencer. Mark had this made for Spencer. This was after our Foothills Christian game, which was a big win for us considering playing against 3 6'9" guys, and our tallest guy was 6'2". And we upset them in the playoffs and went to the finals, and everybody knows the story there. Mark Baca had this made for Spencer. I knew nothing about this today, by the way. Spencer's our all-time leading scorer. We took away his freshman year, and he still beat Michael by 16 points, which was pretty impressive. That Michael's thing lasted 30-something years, hit Michael's record. But for somebody this size, come on. That's over 30 points a game right here. And I just want everybody to know that he's not bullshitting you when he tells you that he saw every game, because Rolf Moore was at every game that year. I got no technicals. No, I did get a ticket last year. My assistant coach is giving my technicals. Not this one, though. My other ones. Anyways, that's from Mark. Open that up. Spencer just got his master's degree. And he has a starting 5 at home. I ain't going to say no more than that. You can figure that one out. Come on, man. Look at those scissors. Can I rip it? That was in the newspaper. I remember that. Mark did that. I mean, yeah, Mark. He's all fired up. All right, Coach, come on up. We'll get you out of the way right now.
I haven't got Jesse's voice, but getting older, you lose your voice. But I appreciate, there's so many stories in here. There's so many successful stories, and I think Sweetwater followed a lot of you into your careers. I think National City will never be out of your blood. You guys made this city so well known for its athletics and even academics, because a lot of you were Division I and Division II athletes. And I was counting up, I was telling these guys, I was bored one day and I started counting up all the players I've had at Sweetwater, and we ended up having 45 Division I and Division II players. And I would say the majority of them got their degrees. They're here. And I used to go all over the country talking about this city and this program. And I used to go places and they would come up and say, "You coached at Sweetwater in California?" And I'm thinking, God, and you can go on and just Google Sweetwater High School or even USIU, and there's articles still being written. My wife will tell you this. We get calls from people back in New York who are writing articles and digging stuff up, high-scoring games and top teams. You remember Cal High Sports? Yep. Okay. Yeah, those guys came to me, 2 young guys, and they originally were from LA. And they said, "What do you think about starting a Cal High, basketball rating service?" I said, go ahead. And with another coach in LA from Long Beach Poly, he sat down and interviewed us about what do you look for in top programs? Is it the team? Is it the athlete? I said, no, it's the program. What do they do year in and year out? What do they do exceptional? This particular program, we traveled. And when we traveled, we won. We won in Hawaii at Obama's old school, Punahou High School. We won that tournament twice. and it was the top teams on the West Coast from California. We took on the highest scoring team ever in this country in Hobbs, New Mexico. And we beat Texas schools, and I think we beat a school from Oklahoma. Got to the finals in front of 5,000 people. And there you are, Mayor, Sweetwater, National City, California. And then we went to Yugoslavia. Some of the guys didn't know this, but we got a letter from Ronald Reagan inviting us back to the White House. We couldn't go because the school board said we missed too many school days already, but give me a break. Give me a break. So I still have the letter, and it was an article written about it in the Evening Tribune. But that's where you guys made an impact. And then having spent New Year's Eve with Sweetwater people, 1 million people in downtown Paris, and trying to control these guys, it was unbelievable. But I still think so much of Sweetwater more than anything else in my career, and all of you guys. I was talking to Carlos and Bernard today, and you know, I made mistakes coming up, but nobody in my mind could be created higher than us. And whenever I heard somebody chuckle about Sweetwater basketball when it first started, Mike, I got so fired up. Get out of my way. And from that time, you guys built it. All the work we did was for you guys. And you're still with me. That gentleman right there, would you believe it? He was my student teacher. One of the greatest. What are you shaking your head for?
Your eyesight's still good, huh?
But there's a guy right there that motivated me a lot, and to this day he's at the top of the list for what he's done for kids in this city. He's done a lot. Now Jesse, I have too many stories. There's too many stories about Jesse, but he's got to be up there where nobody else can be around him. He is definitely a legend. These two guys here started with me as managers. Mike stayed with me through USIU, and this guy has been in my life. I never had a son, but here he is. You know, he's been my son for a long time. My wife was never a part of this, otherwise she wouldn't be married to me. You can imagine, Carlos, the time we spent. Yeah, she knows all the stories. But I'm just so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of this city. And whenever it's over, you are the best memories of my life. The city. So I appreciate every single one of you. Okay? And Mayor, thank you for coming to meet some of these legendary kids here. Fullerton State quarterback, you know, University of Maryland. That guy right there could have gone anywhere he wanted. And then Mark Baca. I'm going to say something that I want you to be with me. I think right now, and I mean this, Mark Baca deserves the biggest hand of the night. He deserves the biggest hand. As much as Mark can get under all of us, he is without question the most loyal, unbelievably loyal guy. Wouldn't you agree, Ralph? That's ever been to Sweetwater High School. And he was a hard one. I mean, this was a hard guy to coach. Oh my goodness. And this guy here was harder than any player. But you made it. And you make me proud. And even that Jesse gets proud. You know, we're all proud of you, Mark. And you deserve a lot of credit, okay? But thank you for coming, you guys. And I'm going to try to get around and share some stories with all of you. So I want to say thanks to you personally, too. But I appreciate everything. And I wish I could have coached you. But there's an asterisk, right, Steve? There's an asterisk. He broke Michael Pitt's record and some other records because we didn't have a three-point shot.
So Michael wouldn't shoot threes. Michael wouldn't shoot threes anyway.
No, but
man.
we had a guy named Bobby Loper. You remember? You guys remember Bobby Loper? I don't think he played with Pitts.
Probably not even born yet.
Yeah, he was a shooter. He played on the great team with the Pitts, and he would have been in your category of shooting. But what you did is unbelievable, and you cherish that the rest of your life.
That's right.
Okay, you cherish it. So I thank all of you. You mean a lot to me. This is a special day, and I'll never forget it. So thank you.
Hold on,
Thank
hold
you.
on. So just going back to Mark real quick, you know, we're like, oh, here comes Mark Baca. Oh, shit. You know, everybody turn around and go the other way. Mark's going to cause hell for something if he shows up. And Mark will be in the best mood in the world, and he'll raise hell somehow or another that night. He'll get people pumped. And let me tell you something. You want to know about Mark Baca? Take Spencer outside and ask Spencer about Mark Baca, what he did for our program, and the memories that Mark gave to Spencer, just Spencer alone, not even counting the whole team. This guy's videos, those of you on Facebook see most of them, him hustling for a ball and going out the front door at Chula Vista High School, sliding on the floor. That is the most unbelievable video ever seen.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about that. Everybody. And the best part of that video, here comes Spencer flying, and where's Ethan? Ethan Charles' grandfather is sitting at the door. And he went like, here comes Spencer chasing the ball, flying out the door, and Ethan's grandfather went like this and looks out the door, and Spencer flew out the door on the floor sliding, literally sliding, with a hustle. Sweetwater hustle, right? And Mark has great video.
Yeah.
I mean, when we went to the championship game, you know, yeah, we lost. Who cares? It's over. Can't do nothing about it. The other team cheated. Coach got fired. They took the banner away. I don't want it. You know, I told we don't want it. We don't want that banner. We didn't earn it. We didn't win on the floor, and we didn't shoot well in that gym arena. But Mark was in the locker room before the game. There was stuff going on in that locker room before the game I didn't even know about. You know, Coach Gonzalez, Coach G, big time fan of Suhai, went to Sweetwater. You know, he came in and talked to the kids. I don't even know how he got down there, Rolf. Your CIF people was sleeping that day or something, because he snuck down to the bottom.
A little bit.
Oh, here we go. Guaranteed Rolf is going to have something to do with that. Rolf let him in when he was sitting with me at the time out at the courtside.
I used to let you in down on the floor when you weren't even coaching.
Hey, I'll tell you this. Nerves were flowing. We come on the bus, nerves are flowing. I don't want nothing to do with Spencer and them. Caught him in the locker room, just left him in. Went and sat down. I sat with Rolf. And he loosened me up. Rolf didn't even talk basketball with me. We just sat there and you remember that? We're sitting there just watching the game before us, and he just loosened me up. We didn't talk about basketball, got me loose. And of course, you know, 3 minutes into a game, I'm flowing, full speed ahead, but I felt a lot better after I talked to Rolf going back in that locker room. But what Mark did for that year, for that team, was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really was. And you guys see Mark at every alumni night. He got the mics on us, and those videos are amazing. And those are just videos for life, man. Memories for life that he gives you guys. You know, my son playing against Cathedral. Yeah, we played against Cathedral over at Lincoln on Martin Luther King Day. They called me, Coach, I need a game. This team backed out, and I'm like, shit, they're gonna beat the shit out of us. And I said, I'll take it. And we went over to Lincoln, man, on Martin Luther King holiday, and Owen put on the show. Torrey Pine's coach came up to him, and Mark has it all on video. You know, because Mark was showing up. Mark was showing up for Lincoln's game, of course, but he was there, and he videotaped it. Mark, you're a great person, man. You fight people. Mayor, if I give Mayor a rock right now, he'll throw it at you probably for all the times you slammed him. But when you guys are together, we put all that aside, right?
Yeah.
We put it all aside. It's all competition, it's all competing, it's all pushing each other. And that's what we all do, you know. James,